last thing I want to talk about is actually there's a lot. Like I said, there's a lot in this movie. I want to talk about the fighting style of Po. And this came up in my research, and I did a whole lot of research on this. Apparently, Po's fighting style is based on the bear style kung fu, which is an actual thing. It's kind of obscure, but it's an actual thing. And the animators actually had to do kung fu lessons.
That's awesome.
So like they had to really get a good understanding of how people are moving in space and what they're actually doing. And so I had to look into the bear style because I was like, I don't know this. I mean, my own...
I didn't think there was one. I honestly hadn't heard of it before now.
There are really styles for every different kind of animal.
I understood that, but... Come on, raccoon style.
Well, they have something similar. I think it's a rat style. So there's a rat, which comes from the Chinese zodiac, the year of the rat. Technically, I'm a rat. Yeah.
Splinter was a rat.
He was. Splinter was cool.
There you go.
Hey, 6 degrees of separation. Boom. Anyways, back to the bear style. I wasn't familiar with this at all. In fact, the kung fu that I have in, okay, Zhaojiang Kung Fu, we have a 5-animal system. Okay, it's the dragon, the mantis, the crane, tiger, and viper. So pretty much what's in the movie minus monkey, which is sad because I like Monkey.
And he's played by Jackie Chan.
He has that signature Jackie Chan flying sidekick. They specifically added that in there because he was playing the character. But anyway, so we have dragon instead of monkey, but no bear, right? So I had to look into bear a lot, and what I found was very interesting. They use a lot of whole body movements, right? Some circular movements, a lot of very fast movements. Okay, they spring and explode forward. I was actually thinking this would probably be a perfect style for Master Jeff, because he's a big, scary dude. He's
he probably knows it.
He's 300 pounds of powerlifting muscle, and watching him run across the mat it's a frightening thing to behold. Yeah.
Especially when he's in armor swinging a broadsword.
Oh.
Or.
I'll get him on the podcast, and he'll explain that.
He's currently competing professionally in armored combat.
And he's slimmed down a little bit so he can fit into that armor. But like I said, I'll get him to explain that because that is a whole separate thing. It's still cool, whole separate thing. Anyways, back to the bear style. It's very much about the shoulders, right, and having them relaxed, and like I said, moving with this big circular movements, the whole body, the whole torso moving, not a whole bunch of high kicks, which leads me kind of to believe that this is more of a southern style because they're not big on the high kicks, but there are kicks in that, they're just not big kicks. One of the other things that it does, and I do this without even thinking about it because my right side sucks, so I use my left side a whole lot, is that they block and hit almost with the same hands. It's not the same strikes, not simultaneous, but it's not like block, punch, it's going to be block, punch kind of deal. And so they have a whole lot of that as far as the hand that is actually blocking is striking and vice versa. So like I said, very cool. It is a very powerful style, like I said, very explosive. It is often paired with the eagle style, which is kind of why I think a lot of people don't know about it, because they associate maybe eagle and bear as just being eagle. And
I would just kind of assume those were both salmon eaters.
What?
Eagles and bears, but at least in North America, they both eat salmon. So maybe that's what brought them together. They were out having some sushi.
The main difference between some of these is not just the movements that they're using, it's how they're using movements. In the bear style, it's all about hitting. It's all attacking, it's moving forward, it's progressing forward, is this continuous movement, and they're doing open palm strikes, whereas the eagle, what separates that from bear and from a lot of other styles is that they'll do the strike, but then they'll latch on and they'll grab. So you have your T-knives, your pressure point manipulations, your elbow breaks and stuff like that within the eagle style. That's why they're paired together. It's like bear, I'm going to strike you, and then eagle's like, I'm then going to grab you and break you, kind of thing. And so that's the difference. It's not the hand position. Hand positioning could be exactly the same, and often it is. It's just like, I'm going to hit, this is bear, now it's eagle. right? So it's
Makes
just
sense.
the difference in the techniques. It's like the eagle's gonna be grabbing you and pulling you, and breaking you in some way, shape, or form. Whereas the bear is just like, I'm gonna hit you. Okay, so
That's gonna be enough.
Yeah, and it really it's more for the bigger people who can just do that because there are like Jeff. If Jeff wanted to, he's a 300-pound man. Actually, he's a little bit less now. He lost 60 pounds.
Yeah, he's 280 something.
Yeah. He's still a big dude. Like, if he wanted to, he could hit me as hard as he wants, and I would just fold in half.
Well, see, Ben, this is also the thing about going back to learning the styles and learning who you are teaching. So there's an expression in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. Same thing, and you have to know the context of these techniques. If you're a 5-foot tall, 140-pound person, if you're surrounded by 6-foot tall, 300-pound people, you're going to need those eagle techniques. But if you're surrounded by a bunch of 4-foot, 100-pound people, like maybe, I don't know, you decided you needed to pick a fight with a bunch of half-pint luchadors, all of a sudden, now you need to know the bear techniques. And this is where knowing your student and knowing the context and the environment they're going to be in comes into play. Jiu-Jitsu loves to talk about the gi, and people who pick on Jiu-Jitsu say, oh, gi training's not realistic. Well, how often do you walk around wearing a shirt? How often do you walk around wearing a jacket? Suddenly, all those gi techniques start to make a lot more sense if you're going to grab somebody's jacket. Context is a big thing in martial arts.
Skadoosh!